All right, in this video, we're going to talk about the selection of fastener assemblies. Now, each project has an engineer of record. The engineer of record is the person that puts his engineering stamp on the project and says that everything that we are using is appropriate for the type of structure that we're building. So he is the person, or she is the person, depending, who chooses the fastener assemblies that we're going to use. So bear that in mind. It's on the drawings. It'll tell you what type of bolts you need to use for what specific applications, and that's information that should be available to you. Now then, nuts and bolts and washers, fastener assemblies, have to have the same coating. This is an A325 3/4 inch structural grade bolt, and it is coated black. However, if you were on certain projects, and we've had projects like this in the past, where everything that is on the project by way of fastener assemblies is required to be galvanized. So if that's the case, then you have to stick with that coating. Everything has to conform to that. So your nuts, your bolts, your washers all have to be galvanized in that case. So if you run short on washers, you can't just go over to the foreman's trailer and grab some black washers from some job that you were on 2 or 3 weeks ago. The coatings have to be the same. You have to stick with that coating. Now, bolts may not be reused after tensioning. When I say reuse, this is what I mean. If, for example, you're bolting up, you take your wrench, you tighten the bolt on, and then you decide, well, I need to loosen it up just a little bit because I need to make another connection a little farther down. You're not reusing it. You can tighten it, you can loosen it, that's okay. However, once it has been tightened down, you cannot take it out and then go take it and use that bolt somewhere else. That constitutes reuse. So keep that in mind. Then also, when you are bolting up and you're putting the nuts on, there's the matter of how much of the nut needs to be on to the threads of the bolt. This is technically legal because all of the threads are filled. However, what we more likely are looking for is something like that. Thread and a half, something on that order. What we don't want to see is when you get past 3 threads. If you get that many threads showing, there's a problem. Either the plates are the wrong thickness, or the bolts are too long, or something is amiss. So when you see this condition, you need to start asking some questions about the fasteners that you're using for this particular application. What we're typically looking for is thread and a half, something like that. So that's what you want to remember when you're bolting up as far as the selection of fastener assemblies.